Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. I am Lewis and this is BrickTsar, the home of vintage Lego, and today I want to take you on a journey. Now, this is a journey of discovery. In fact, it's a train journey because I am a Lego trains beginner. Not just a beginner, an absolute novice. I have no idea about Lego trains. All I know is that the modern ones, they use the power-up system. Then I know that there was 12 volt, 9 volt, and 4.5. And I understand 4.5 is the oldest. I could be completely wrong, and if I'm wrong, please educate me in the comments. However, I have managed to acquire a load of 4.5 volt train system stations, track, locomotives, sets, other stuff. So you're at my dining room table because I want to build it, and this is the only space that's probably big enough in my house at the moment that I can build on because most of downstairs is under construction. So I am upstairs in my dining room area with the plan of building this. I don't know where this is going to take me. This might be one of the worst videos I've ever made, or it could be one of the best, because if I have all of the parts here and everything works, then this could be amazing. So let me take you through what we have. I've got set 7720. Oh, it's got a lovely, look at that on the back. That's lovely. That's what I hope to make in my city. If the 4.5 volt is something that works with me and I enjoy it, then I might be using this. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, so 7720. So this is a locomotive with several different cars on the back. It looks like it's got some power function. I mean, this is the first time I'm really even looking through this, and I'm hoping that I've got most of the parts. If I haven't, I imagine that, is that a battery pack? I'm sure. People educate me in the comments, please. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I think this is a 4.5 battery pack cart with an electric wire clip that clips to the next one, which then powers up the next one. Is that correct? That'll be interesting to go through, I imagine. 7822. So this is the train station. Now this is, I actually don't know whether this even fits. It looks like it should fit that one because the tracks look the same, and I have an awful lot of this track. So I have bags and bags, which I'll show you in a minute. So that'll be interesting to build. I'm just having a look through all the parts here. I think we have all of these parts kicking around in the boxes. If you haven't watched my videos, I purchased 86 sets, 82 sets, something like that. About 30 kilos worth of Lego, 25 kilos worth of Lego, which is about 50 pounds. And I've got all sorts of sets, and I've been working my way through that and building sets. And this is kind of the last of the stuff, apart from like small vehicles. But I thought this was incredibly interesting. So, and then I've got some other locomotives as well. So I've got a couple of these. This is 7820. This looks like a standard box car, so it takes luggage and all that sort of stuff. This might be really good for the old school forklift sets and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, and then I've got a Shell gas 7816 car as well. I think I've got two of these because I'm fairly certain I've seen two of those large Shell. Anyway, we'll figure that bit out as we go. So these are the main four sets that I'm going to be building in this video. Now, let's open up the box of stuff and see what we have. Probably won't be in shot, I don't know, I've not really tested it. But I think the important part is to pull this stuff out and have a look at it, because this is kind of a new journey for me. This is a new... kind of a huge learning curve, new experience, and I really don't even know what I'm looking at, let alone for. So this is going to be kind of quite the journey. So I'm going to pull all of this out and see what's useful and what's not useful. And okay, this has got glue over it, so someone has glued it or taped it to something. Yeah, it's... I couldn't even tell you what that is. I'm guessing that that fits into there. Okay, so we know that that's a car that's actually completed, and it looks to me, we obviously need to open it up. It looks to me that that has 3 batteries that go immediately into it, and you can either switch it on or switch it off using this lever here. So this is, I'm guessing, the battery car. I should have probably watched a few YouTube videos about this before I started making my own YouTube video, but I thought it's more fun to go through the journey of discovery than it is telling people exactly how it is. So these wheels are locked. I'm gonna take apart this slowly. Not take it apart, but kind of just unhook it. Because I don't want to break anything, I don't want to do any damage to anything. Oh wow, okay. So this is actually already fully connected by the magnets that are on the front, which is then connected to this, which is another train. So these, that's a connecting point. That's another, I'm guessing. So that one is obviously no good unless we can find another head for it. But that's quite interesting that there's 2 of those. I'm going to guess a lot of this is the station. So this is just parts that we can, I think, if we move these just slightly out of the way. Not really sure what happened here. But I mean, it's parts, isn't it? It's definitely parts. This, I think, is for 7720. That seems to have the kind of a box car type scenario. We've got signals. I've seen that. I'm trying to figure out how this works. I've seen it on a video at some point. A train drives past through this, and as it does that, the signal goes up, but I'm not sure. It obviously needs another part of some kind. Oh, we've got 2 crossings. That's quite cool. We've got wheels for days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got some doors. So I'm going to guess this is something to do with the main locomotive on 7720. This one here, or it's that train there. The next thing I'm going to do is bag up, not bag all this up, but kind of like bag it up, neat it up, move it out of the way. So I'm going to just have a look at this and see what parts we actually have for the actual track, because I don't even know how the track is put together. So that's probably the next job. So with all of that moved out of the way, the next job is to kind of build a strip of track, maybe. I need to obviously test to see whether this stuff is working. Obviously I'll test it just to see whether the wheels are going, but you know, once we build, we just want to put it on a piece of track. So let's kind of figure this out. I don't have any instructions. I haven't bothered looking into it. I'm gonna basically play it by ear and guess. So we have metal, which connects easily and instantly. Okay, we then have what I'm going to guess is the actual track, which needs to clip like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, that's got something stuck in it, that one. Let's try a different one. Okay, so that's there. So with the, let's try this one, freewheeling wheels. So that seems to kind of work there. Are there metal ones? Because if this goes in the center there, surely I'm going to need them in the corners as well. And if these are all just corners and they don't have metal bits on them, then surely it doesn't work. Let's try clipping that to there, clipping that to there. There's no... So again, so is there shorter pieces? Yes, that's a centerpiece. That looks like a monorail piece rather than a train track piece. Oh, okay. So the biggest problem I think I'm going to have is that those on the outside seem to clip very hard, and then once they are in, they don't let go. So that would be outside again, inside again. Another clip. Okay, so let's do an oval of some variety and see whether we've got enough parts to do the entire thing. So let's build that and we'll come back in a second. I'll probably just speed build this. There we have it. One track built. So that's the next thing we're going to do. Let's go online and see what kind of information is out there. Well, thank goodness for BrickTsar. I'm going to put the link to this video, but that's kind of the thumbnail. Now, he has helped me an awful lot in the last kind of hour or so of doing this kind of research. He has basically helped me figure out what I'm doing. So let me just pause this and we'll kind of come from the TV back to the track. First of all, he's shown me that I don't need any of this, which is really good news because some of it was old and manky, some of it had old glue on, some connections weren't there. So I'm really pleased I don't need any of that. All I need is this wire here. And the reason for that is this is the 1981 to 1990 4.5 volt track. Now, I haven't put the center bits in yet. That's why I've got loads of there. So I've got to put those in. But essentially, it's a non-conducting track. Unlike the 9 volt from 1990 onwards, this is a non-conducting track. Now, I do have 4 of these, which is not enough because you need them for the bends and everything. So I'm not going to worry about that. But this was like an upgrade. So you could plug this track in so you wouldn't need the battery car, which is this thing here. Now, I'm not going to worry about any of that. I actually quite like having battery cars, and according to BrickTsar, this is the golden age of kind of locomotives and Lego train builds and all that. So I'm actually really looking forward to buying more of this type of track, and trying to find these kind of old school 80s locomotives. Now, how does it move? Well, you've got the battery car, which is here. So you've got battery car, and on this side you've got This makes it go left and right, depending on which way you move it. If we have a look inside here, there is no corrosion at all. It looks clean and well looked after. It's just brilliant. I'm so pleased. That is phenomenal. Then you've got the motor car, which is actually the base of the locomotive. So here you've got, for me, it would be this vehicle here. And that essentially connects this going into those holes there, and that one going into those holes there. And that pushes these together, these two go together, the wire goes together, you build the locomotive on top of this, and then you have a powered vehicle. Now, for me, if we go back to this set here, we have this kind of long base here, which I'm going to guess is this, and this kind of moves freely on the track and looks terrific. Then we've got the shell there, which is the shell car there, and then we have this base, which is disgusting. I'm guessing is that one there. Then we also have to find all the parts for this. We know we've got most of them because I definitely have this station sign here. We have that, we saw it earlier on in the video, and we have that, we saw it earlier on in the video. So we definitely have the parts kicking around, so I'm gonna go and find the parts for that. So, and we also have, like I showed you earlier on, this bag full of kind of interesting bits, which will also kind of work for the crossings here, and you know, to make the station the stairs. And we've got some cross track. And we've got this, which is a road crossing piece, which I think fits just on the track. So lots of things to do. Hopefully when I've finished talking, I'm going to go and pick up some batteries. I'm going to give this thing a test. I'm going to build the track. I'm going to pick the parts for this stuff here. And then hopefully we're going to build it all, test it all. And we're going to have some 4.5 vintage trains doing some laps. God, this is genuinely exciting, and I can't believe how well it's going. I am shocked, and what a day. I'm genuinely just smiling. I'm so happy. Anyway, let's crack on. Okay, so I'm back from the shops. Got 3 batteries. The plan, right. Slightly nervous. Right, batteries in here. Well, at least they fit, that's a start. 1 positive, 2 negatives on the top, and then I assume that just goes on like that. Good. Right. I took this off that earlier on with the, so we can couple them together, because I think that's quite important. Okay. Let's plug this in, see what happens. It's not that way around. Ah! Look at that! Oh, we've got spinning wheels. That's a lot of power. Hey! Okay, so it doesn't like the insides because there's no grip. There's a lot of power coming through that. That makes the wheel spin really quickly. Okay, that's interesting. Let's bring it back. Oh, well, we've got it powered. That's awesome. It doesn't like the corners. Because on the inside of the corners, you've got the non-grip track. So you've got this, you can hear that. On that side, it's got no corrugated sides. So that's interesting. Right, so we need to find something that will go in on these to make them stick to the track. Rubber bands is my initial thought. Let's get rubber bands, see how we get on. Okay, back from the kitchen. Got some red rubber bands. How about this? 1, 2, 3. Wrap round. Still gets that angled bit there. Stick another one. Let's try this, see if this works. I don't know if it will, to be honest, but put that in. I mean, kind of. Is it going to come all the way back round? Ah, it's getting stuck on that bit. So that's interesting because of the weight, because I don't have the, what they called, these things in the whole way around. It's actually bending slightly in the middle, so it's getting caught there. So the next job is to put these on the whole way around, and I'm having an absolute brain fart. I can't think of what these are called. Oh, anyway, let's do that next and then see if it goes the whole way around. So now those are done, I'm hoping the track's a little bit more sturdy and this thing doesn't get caught. Although, having said that, this rubber band idea is not the best, but it's an idea in my journey of discovery. Okay, let's try this. I gotta say, I'm very happy. It kind of works. It's not great, but it kind of works. Look at that. I think on this note, we're going to end it for today. I've got loads of other things I need to get up to. But for today, this is it. The next part is building everything and getting it all together and working. But for now, what a great day it's been. A little peek behind the curtain. So, I have this all picked. That's the train station 7822. So that's all picked there. I've got this train picked as well. That's 7820. I'm going to watch a little bit of Peaky Blinders while I'm building. So this is my build station for this afternoon. Some of these parts are going to belong to the other train systems, which are currently over here. So we have the shell one, and then we have the longer train there. And then these are kind of like the parts that are built that need cleaning and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be built afterwards. But yeah, we're nearly there. I'm going to build all of this and then hopefully we can show you a completed train track and we can do some circuits with the trains. Looking forward to it. So now it's all built, I'm going to show you everything. However, I have got one more surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise, it's a surprise for me. I didn't know I need these, so I did a little bit of research and tried to figure out why my train slit the wheels and what goes on the wheels. And I'm sure all of you lot are all shouting at me, this is what you need, this is what you need. And guess what? I figured out what I needed. So, big shout out to Lurchy from BrickTsar in Germany. He sent me a couple of these on quick. So on quick delivery, I bought these. These are brand new, still in the bag, for, you know, a decent amount of money, but not ridiculous. And fair play to the lad, he sent me a whole nother set for free. Didn't pay for them. Really top lad. Greatly appreciated. So yeah, Lurchy Puck Store in Germany on BrickLink. Go and have a look at his stuff. I'm not, you know, he's not paying me to say this, but just, you know, what a top guy. Like, proper customer service. Right, let's take a look and see what I've built. Back at my dining room table, and we're nearly there, I think. I'm really, really pleased with how this has all turned out. So you've got the diesel locomotive there with the battery box, which we've had a look at already, and it is in fantastic condition. The rest of that set is here. So what I've done is just added a little switch track just there, and then we've got the other two cars, which are finished, and have the minifig in place as well. Great little set, absolutely love it. This will be whizzing around the track fairly shortly. Then we have here, so this is an odd thing. So this is supposed to be in here. Let me start by saying that. However, mine has got a bit of a dodgy mechanism. It kind of goes down a little bit and it kind of doesn't. And the idea of this is, so you move this handle here and it either raises or lowers this section, which then, if it's there and the train passes over, the battery box has a kill switch under here, which is there. And that then kills the battery, put the train back on, and it stops the train there. So if you want the train to stop anywhere, then you can raise, you can keep it lowered, and then you raise it. This then raises, hits the kill switch, and yeah, that's the train stops. So it's good, but mine doesn't seem to work. It's a little clunky, and it keeps catching the kill switch. So I've just moved it off the track for now and using it as decoration. From one decoration to the decoration. This is the station, and I'm going to say something controversial, although anybody who's watching this probably likes vintage, so won't think it's controversial. I prefer Lego sets with studs on. I don't want everything super duper tiled all the time. It doesn't have to be hyper realistic. It's Lego. It's built with studs. The idea that you have to scale model, hyper realism tile everything so it looks exactly like a train station. No, this is clearly a train station. Trains go through it. You've got the little ticket office down there. You've got the little conductor. You've got a little maintenance man. Some stickers put on by 2-year-olds. You know, this is proper Lego, and it's bloody wonderful. So, yeah, the station is a wonderful set. I really, really love this. This might be, depending on other stations that I come across, but this might be the station that goes into the town once I develop that. But, yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And right next to it, just off a switch track off the main line, is the postal car. Now, I mean, it's got a couple of minifigs. I'm not sure why one is facing the opposite way. I promise you he won't be jumping off. I'm hoping to get a couple of these or a few of these and have a mail car kind of train going round and round the circuit one day. So, yeah, I really like it though. Kind of, it's very traditional. It's kind of like, I'm English, so this looks an awful lot like the trains I used to catch as a youngster. You've got the black join, and then you've got kind of, although this is obviously a storage car, so you've got all of the bricks and stuff inside. But I used to catch a train very similar to this to school every single day 25 years ago. So yeah, it's huge nostalgia, I guess. Anyway, love that. Now let's move along. We've got, so this is a very interesting piece. I'm sure everyone knows this, but if you don't, this is like a track reverser. So I'm actually keeping mine away from the track because I don't want it to keep going backwards and forwards. But essentially, the track will come past here, the train will come past here, and this will hit the little lever that's on the battery box, and then that will stop the train, or depending on how fast the train's going, often move the lever completely and make it reverse and go in the opposite direction. So that's what that does, and it's a nice little addition. Then we move on to another edition of that kind of diesel train freight set. So this is maybe a good place where you could put the stopper, this piece there, because it would the train would then stop, and then this vehicle can then load up all of the freight onto the trains. So yeah, and it's a nice little build. I don't want to show you too much, but it has a hinge brick in here, which and then sits on an arch, and it gives you that lovely slope, and it's solid as anything. It's a lovely little design feature. I really like that a lot. So this is the next bit. So you then have the Shell gas car. Now this was actually built when I got it. I'm sure, I don't know if anybody remembers seeing at the beginning of the video, this is actually built on the wrong base. So I've had to kind of completely rebuild this and put this back together. But I actually really like it. I love these. I mean, this is proper kind of industrial vehicle stuff. And I put a little buffer in here, so when it comes off the switch track, it then, you know, just buffers it into there. So yeah, absolutely wonderful stuff. Then I don't know if this came with a set. I think this might have come with a diesel set, but this is the level crossing. I like it. It's got a nice little movement to it. I would like some automated ones at some point, but this is a nice little addition to the set. So let's take a wide angle and get these trains going. So this is all a learning experience for me. I have really enjoyed the journey. I gotta say, this train journey of discovery has been an awful lot of fun, and there are several things that I'm going to talk about after we get these trains going that I'm going to kind of add to the equation and ask for everyone's opinions, essentially. You know, drop all the information that I need in the comments. But the one thing I want to talk about is the connection between the battery box and the train itself. Now, those connections I've had several of these little wires just down here. Now, they connect, but they don't connect perfectly. And I've noticed that the wobble of the train sometimes pulls the connection out slightly from the battery box, and that allows a poorer connection, less power, and then it actually stops on the track. So let's see what we end up with when we push the lever. So we've got a train going. It's managing to grip pretty well. Oh, having said that, it's managing to grip pretty well on the... Yeah, so it's the connection again. So all you have to do if you get in that situation is just tap the connection. But this reinforces my idea of possibly moving this 4.5 battery box train set into a 12 volt train set. Now, I'm going to show you in a second what I mean by that, and I'm sure everybody already knows, but I'm going to show you the bits that you can add to do that, because I've got a few here. But let's just enjoy watching this train go around for a little while. Let's stop it there. Now, as you saw earlier on in the video, I have quite a few of these. Now, these are the 12 volt conductors that you actually add to this track. So let me just show you something that I've put together here. Now, they're 16 studs long, so you've got 1, 2, 3 across that length of track. Now, these are about, for me, 4 krona each. And the ones for the curves are slightly more expensive, and then you've got to buy the remote, the wiring, and the control box and all that sort of stuff. So for me, to turn a track roughly this size, or bigger actually, because in my vintage town it's going to be 4 or 5 times this size, it's going to cost me about 1,000 krona, which I actually think is probably good value. Now, as you can see below, that's the numbers that are below in your local currencies. But I'm kind of hoping that I can do that, because I've got to be honest, this battery box, 3C batteries for me is 150 krona. And then you're probably getting 10 to 15 laps of this track here. And that's it, before you start noticing the power down, and it actually doesn't pull these cars here, it only pulls this. So that's why for this demonstration, I'm only having these here and not pulling anything else. So having the full mains power on these, I think it's going to allow me to pull an awful lot more and to have other kind of other trains rolling on that track as well. So that's the plan for the future. So having a look at this now, this looks like pretty much what my vintage town railway is going to look like, I think, for now anyway. Things always change, of course. Anyway, let's have a look at these trains going around one more time, because it is just so much fun. All right, I'm having way too much fun here. I'm actually just going to attach all of these train cars now. And I'm going to do it until the batteries run out, because honestly, it's so much fun. I genuinely can't wait to build a proper track in a vintage town. But let's turn this on. Let's send this around the track. Oh no, it stopped immediately. Let's hope that it's just the connection. It is just the connection. This is so good. I don't think it's very safe for the minifig just to be standing there. Go on, son. This is so good. I'm not going to try and add the shell just yet. I think the weight is just, and certainly not the postcard at the moment. And I think the weight and the connections just aren't there yet. But some finessing and some extra work could certainly get this working perfectly. And I'm so happy, so grateful that this came part of that set that I bought. This is the best that I've got in that 25 kilo, 50 pounds. £50 worth of Lego. This is the best set or sets that I got so far. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like vintage Lego, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, all that sort of stuff. It really, really helps because I want to share kind of the new passion I have for vintage Lego with everybody else and see if there's anybody else who likes vintage stuff as well. And hopefully we can build some sort of community of, you know, vintage Lego appreciators. I'm not a fan, I'm not a fanatic, I'm just an appreciator, a collector, someone who really, really enjoys it. And hopefully you do too. Anyway, guys, I think that might be the connection of the battery. It's just the connection. We can keep going. So good. Anyway, have a lovely day, everybody. I hope you enjoyed vintage trains as much as I do. And if you don't, get yourself one, because you will eventually. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. And bye-bye.